Welcome back to this week's Insider News from the Madison Georgia Chick-fil-A studio at Morgan County High School. Happy Halloween. I'm Elijah.
And I'm Wyatt. Coming up is a look at the recent Special Olympics fair, the swim team, a trip behind the counter in the cafeteria, Day of the Dead celebration, and much more. But first, these haunting announcements.
To start us off, I'm going to state the obvious. Today is Halloween, and majority of you probably won't go trick-or-treating and go to a party instead, or just stay at home. But I can't blame you because no one feels like walking for an hour for some Twizzlers and Snicker bars, because there's better options. Although, I could go for a Chick-fil-A brownie right about now. Anyways, here's Zay with some random facts about the Day of the Dead.
Day of the Dead is a holiday traditionally celebrated on November 1st and 2nd through other days such as October 31st or November 6th. It may be included depending on the locality. The multi-day holiday involves family and friends gathering to pay respects and remember friends and family members who have died.
Thanks, Zay. It's always good to learn something new, even if it is random. In other interesting news, though, AV1 student Eric Hawk talked with Ms. Brownlee about some of the activities our Special Olympians have been up to.
Hello, I'm Noelle Brownlee, the Morgan County Special Olympics Coordinator. Over the last 3 weeks, we have been doing Special Olympics bowling with our Special Olympians. It was a wonderful time. We had about 40 kids that got to compete against each other. We practiced 2 different weeks, and then we had our competition this past Friday. Okay, so I have one of my Special Olympians here with us today. Can you tell us your name, sir?
Dylan Dawes.
All right, Dylan. Did you have a good time bowling last week?
Mm-hmm.
What was your favorite part?
Getting a strike.
All right. Okay, can you tell us anything else about bowling? How many people were bowling with you in your lane? How many other Special Olympians?
4 of them.
Yes, you're right. You were right. Can you name any of them and say hello to them on the screen?
I don't know.
You don't know any of them? Okay. Okay, on Friday, after you went bowling, you got to do something really special afterwards with a bunch of your friends. Where did y'all go?
To CC's Pizza and eat pizza.
Oh, yeah. Was it great?
Yeah, I ate 9 slices of pizza.
Oh, my God. That's a lot of pizza. That sounds awesome. Well, we'll bowl again in the spring. Are you looking forward to that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. Thanks so much for interviewing us.
Goodbye.
So our upcoming track and field event is on April 17th, so please save the date. We'd love for you to come out and support our Special Olympians.
Can you end it?
I'm not much of a bowler myself, but that looks like fun. Don't forget, though, we have more fun highlights featuring our special ed students coming up later in the show, so stay tuned. But first, an important reminder that it is Digital Learning Day tomorrow and a teacher work day on the following Monday. So look forward to a 4-day weekend. After you do your work, of course. Actually, speaking of the 4-day weekend, Election Day is happening on the Tuesday we get back to school. So to everyone who's eligible, seniors, don't forget to vote. Now up next is Wyatt with some sports updates. But first, word on the street with Ty and Zay alongside the weather report.
What you been for this Halloween?
Oh, what I'm been for Halloween? A YN. Probably like Jason Voorhees or Joker.
A YN. A YC.
I'm dressing up as JJ.
A clown.
Lil Uzi Vert.
Maybe a vampire.
Is your family dressing up as something for Halloween?
Yes, we are dressing up as a Pac-Man theme for our house. So my son is going to be Pac-Man. My daughter will be Miss Pac-Man. I'll be one of the ghosts, Pinky. And then my husband's going to be one of the transparent ghosts that Pac-Man eats.
Today it will be a high of 78 and a low of 56. On Friday it's a high of 78 and a low of 59. For the weekend it will be a high of 73 and a low of 57. And on Monday it will be a high of 70 and a low of 55. It will be cold by the 2nd, so make sure to bring a coat.
Physical contact! This is an outrage!
We weren't expecting you.
No one expects the Spanish Inquisition!
He's right. We were not expecting that. Happy Halloween, for real this time. Stay tuned to the end of the newscast for the softball team send-off from Tuesday. Meanwhile, on October 30th to November 1st, Our softball varsity girls have a state tournament at Columbus, and from the 1st through the 2nd will be the volleyball state championship. Also, let's dive into the swim team with this in-depth look from our reporter, John Metheny.
The Morgan County Swim Dogs season has started up again, led by returning coaches Patrick Kicklighter and Robert St. John. I had the chance to interview Patrick Kicklighter about this season.
We got a great lineup of meets this year, some really stiff competition to go up against, and we have an incredible returning varsity team, as well as some new additions. Our girls team is just really looking amazing. They've really come into their own, and we've gotten really deep with that team as well, so we can have multiple relay teams, and they're going to go places this season.
What do you think this team does best?
The way they handle themselves at a Chinese buffet, it's like none I've ever seen anywhere. I'm kidding. They actually do good at a Chinese buffet, but just the team camaraderie, it always impresses me. We have a lot of like just individual standout swimmers that are really good. And when they get in that pool, they go and compete each other. But the second they get out on that bus out here in the community, they're all friends with each other, and that's always been really cool to me. And the fact that we have all sorts of different levels from from doggy paddling to state qualifiers, and the fact that they all come together essentially as a family, it's really cool. And that's what makes this team such a joy to coach, is we have a good time, and they're all extremely kind and just devoted to getting better, and that's what we do best, just being good human beings, I think.
Everybody's excited about the swim season starting. Just ask these random teachers I interviewed.
All right, let's go.
Flash interview. Miss Braswell, how excited are you for the swim team to start this season?
I'm super excited.
How excited? Like,
So excited that I might actually join the swim team.
excuse me? I'm sick.
Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. What's going on?
I'm just sick of the swim season off season. All right, here we go. This is a flash interview. How excited are you for the swim team exactly?
I think it's gonna be a big splash.
It's gonna be a big splash. What do you think your favorite swim season memory is?
My favorite swim team is in memory? Oh, there's so many to choose from. Because we're in the memory business. That's what we do on the swim team.
What do you have to say to all the people who are on the fence about joining the swim team?
Let me tell the people on the fence. You know what you're going to do? Why don't you hop off that fence? Why don't you go on back to your mamas? Because you know what we don't want on our swim team? People are halvesies. What we want are those people who are going to run through that fence to get in the pool.
The swim team hopes it'll be a great season like always.
Thanks for that report, John. Our varsity dogs are at Callaway on Friday night, so remember that if you can't make the game, you can watch it live online at the NFHS network site. That's at NFHS, my apologies, network.com, and search for Morgan County High School. Sadly, that is all for this week's sports. Before Elijah returns with some more announcements, here's a special report on Miss Cofield's Morgan Multicultural Team and their work on the Day of the Dead celebration.
Today we're going to be talking about Dia de los Muertos, also known as in English, the Day of the Dead. In Hispanic culture, this is when the dead who have passed away move on to the land of the living for a short period of time to go back with their loved ones and relatives. Today, we spoke to two people, and we got their views on how do they celebrate, what's the meaning behind it, and why do they do it themselves.
Día de los Muertos es una celebración que mucha gente celebra para recordar sus queridos que perdieron.
The Day of the Dead is a celebration that a lot of people celebrate for their loved ones that have passed.
El significado es para que muchos recuerden sus familiares que querían mucho.
The significance is that we remember our loved ones that have passed.
La manera como celebramos es que decoramos una mesa, como podemos poner las candelas, flores y a veces ponen comida. Y también el mayor complemento es que ponemos una foto de sus familiares.
How we celebrate it is we decorate a table with flowers, candles, and sometimes food. And then we place a picture of our loved one that passed away. Yeah.
Thank you for listening, and hopefully you'll learn a lot more about the Day of the Dead. Here at Morgan County, we honor that culture, and hopefully we can all celebrate that together. Thank you for listening.
What a fascinating way to honor and celebrate those we've lost. Now let's get to next week's club schedule. To start, the Interact Club will be meeting on Tuesday in room 621, followed by 3 more clubs on Wednesday, being the Academic Bowl in room 640, Art Club happening in room 504, and Civil Air Patrol happening in room 444. And the newly formed Film Dogs will be meeting on Thursday after school to discuss and film video projects in room 502. If you are interested, join us. Jesus. Have you ever wondered what goes into feeding 1,000 students each day? Well, Samara Harris went behind the counter in the cafeteria to find out.
When the ladies come in, they put their personal items into their lockers. They wash their hands. They make sure they come in with the proper clothes to wear for the day. They make sure they're well, they're not sick. They're not allowed to have fevers or anything that would contaminate our food. Our fruits and vegetables come in from local, like I'm allowed to order fruits and vegetables that is local. Local is considered any state that touches Georgia. I'm not allowed to order any fruits or vegetables that come out of that are not processed in the United States. We're not allowed to order from other countries. All the food that we use has to be USA made, grown, processed.
Sounds like a lot of work goes in feeding us. So next time you're in line, thank one of the cafeteria workers for all they do. And thank you, Zamari, for that report. Now you have one more report from the Special Olympics Fair that happened last Friday.
My name's Noelle Brownlee, and I'm one of the special ed teachers here at Morgan County High School. Today we're having our Special Ed Fall Festival. This has actually been put on by Miss Bailey Sidwell's class in the TAP class. We have several stations set up, and these are all student-led and student-driven activities. So as you can see, they're using a lot of different adaptive PE activities at each station, and we have several special needs kids here. So I believe altogether we have a total of 72 special needs kids that are comprised of 4 classes from the primary school, 2 from the elementary school, 1 from the middle, and 3 from here at the high school. All of these students are being facilitated by volunteers from Miss Sidwell's class. And Miss Sidwell's class had to design each station and assemble it, and then they'll help me to break everything down.
Why did you decide to help out with the event?
I love helping out anyone and everyone. I love kids, and yeah. I wanted to help out the community, and I plan on being a teacher, so this is really good practice, and I just love working with little kids. So I began teaching special education because I actually took a class in college, and I really fell in love with learning about disabilities and how different brains operate and collaborate with everyone else. And I had an opportunity to work in an inclusion classroom, and I did that for the majority of my career before coming to the high school. But I really love working with different students, students with autism, dyslexia, ADHD, and just seeing how everyone's brain works a little bit differently. We began hosting as a way to be more involved with our Special Olympics group, and then also to practice some of the games before they get to Special Olympics. So we do a lot of the same events like bowling, and then some of the more active games that they'll do at the Special Olympics later in the year. This is kind of a good practice for them, and just a way for us to collaborate and come together. I think that not only does this help with social skills for the students that do Special Olympics, but it also helps with my students learn a little bit more about empathy and then how to interact with different populations of students.
I love my kids, and I love seeing them happy and giving them opportunities. And this is just another wonderful event for them that Ms. Sidwell's class has put together, and I'm excited to bring them here and to kind of help to organize just their transportation and getting them here today. So I became the coordinator for Special Olympics because I wanted to keep giving our kids, our special ed kids here in the county, as many opportunities as I could, and especially for my students. I teach a severe profound classroom, and sometimes it's hard to give them opportunities and take them places, and By doing Special Olympics, I've opened up a lot of doors for them, and that's my passion, and I love that.
That looked like a lot of fun, and I hope they all had a great time. Now to a more serious matter, there's an important update on parking from the school board, and here to tell us about it is Sergio.
Thank you, and we have an important announcement to make about parking restrictions.
Yikes. Well, that's all for this week's show. Make sure to view all of our content on YouTube at MCHS-AVTF. I'm Elijah.
And I'm Wyatt. Remember to set your clocks back by an hour on Sunday when daylight saving time ends. And have a happy Halloween. We leave you now with Tuesday's softball team send-off as they headed out to Columbus to compete at the state level. We'll see you next time on Insider News.